Alright, now this is a little bit more complicated story. We learned what the pulse is, and we learned how to count the pulse into bars of 4. I'm taking the example of 4 because I think that in the beginning of writing down music, goes back to the Middle Ages and the monks in their monasteries that were doing that. They were speaking of a whole note in one bar. Now that whole note you could divide in 4 pulses, and this is what they did. So they had one bar, one measure with 4 pulses, and they started calling them quarter note pulses. So what we're counting when we're counting the pulse, we're mostly counting the quarter notes. Since it's the quarter notes, we need 4 of them to make one whole bar. That's a full bar. Now these quarter notes we can also divide in halves. If we divide one quarter note in half, we get 2 8 notes. This is it. So if we divide all 4 of them, we get 8 8 notes. And these 8 notes, again, we can divide them in halves and we get 16 notes. So if we divide these 8 8 notes, we're getting 16 16th notes. And you can go on like that to 32nd or even 64 notes. But for this course, we stay with the quarter notes, the 8 notes, which are the double of the quarter note pulses, and the 16 note pulses, which are the double of the 8 notes pulses again. What I did to illustrate that is I made a little bit of a film, and you can see how that actually works. Playing the double time of the quarter note pulse and then the double time of that. So here is that film now. Okay, in this little studio I can show you what it looks like when I start making the quarter note pulse, generating the quarter note pulse from this music, and underneath the 8 notes and then even the 16 note subdivisions. So here we start first off the quarter note pulse, playing some music. So that is the quarter note pulse, really short, and it's just for the visual, so I keep this very short. Now I'll be making the 8 notes. Here we go. And that was the 8 notes, and I'll show you later on when I zoom in on this. Now I'll be generating the 16 notes in the bottom lane. Here we go. Okay, now I'll zoom in and you can see all the pulses that I generated and recorded. This is the first quarter note pulse, the second quarter note pulse, the third quarter note pulse, and the fourth quarter note pulse. Now that would be the 5th quarter note pulse, but I have groups of 4, so this is going to be the first one of the next group of quarter note pulses. Underneath you can see that I played the 8 note pulse, and it is twice. I can play 2 8 notes in the time of 1 quarter note. And in between that, the 8 note pulses, I can play 2 16 note pulses. In 1 quarter note, I can play 4 16 note pulses. In 4 quarter notes, you can see that I can play 16 16 note pulses and 8 8 note pulses. That's going to be in 1 bar, because I have 4 quarter note pulses in 1 bar. That's what I'm counting. I hope that helped, and if not, then please watch it again. If it is clear, then go on to the next instruction. Thank you.